Hey everyone, my name is Natalie, aka a Wooden Butterfly, and this is Art That Heals the Soul. Welcome to my channel. Today we are doing another pick a pile reading, which I love, and today we're going to be asking the question, is there a message that your angels have been trying to send to you? Or what messages are your angels trying to send to you? For me personally, I've noticed quite a significant amount of synchronicities recently, especially since the Scorpio full moon. It's been very enlightening, to say the least. Illuminating, quite illuminating, and yeah, definitely the Uranus energy is definitely bringing a lot of shocking revelations. And if the same has been happening for you, you might want to know exactly what messages are trying to be sent to you. So that's what we will be asking today. We have 3 piles. When choosing the pile, please use your intuition in choosing the pile that you feel is meant for you. When you use your intuition, you will never choose wrong, and you could usually get something out of whatever pile you choose. So please, the way that I do this, when I learned how to do this, I was like, oh, but that's really so cool. I actually focus on each pile, and I try to focus on my third eye chakra. It typically does this like tingling sensation when your intuition is trying to tell you to choose that pile, and the more you practice it, the more defined it becomes. And now it's like to the point where I can literally, it feels like I'm furrowing my eyebrows when it's the correct pile, and then it'll like retract when it's not. So I recommend trying that way. Of course, do whatever resonates with you. Maybe it's the number, maybe it's the actual card itself, whatever it is. But today, these are the piles to choose from. This is going to be pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Okay, so for those of you who chose pile number 1, alright, you just connect with your energies. Call upon pile number 1, spirit guides, my spirit guides. Please allow me to be used as a channel for the messages pile number 1 needs to hear. Keep my mind's going through the cards, please and thank you. I need to release whatever energies I pick up during the reading after the reading is over. Please and thank you. My spirit guides, pile number 1 spirit guides. What messages are pile number 1's angels or spirit guides trying to send to them? What message are pile number 1's angels trying to send? What message are pile number 1's angels trying to send? the reverse. Ace of Wands in the reverse. I'm sorry, Two of Wands in the reverse. Getting the feeling that you have just recently made a decision, but you're second guessing yourself. You made a decision about something that it was like somewhat of a major decision that you felt was significant in your life, and you're feeling as though it's possible that you could have made the wrong decision. I'm not saying that you did. Let's get a little bit more. Priestess, High Priestess in the reverse. It's something that you already know. You know your truth, basically. You know that you needed to make this decision, whatever it was. It was something that had to be done for one reason or other. It's not something that you wanted to do, but it's something that was necessary for you. Seven of Pentacles, reverse. That's a reversal. It's almost like it's almost like you're having a hard time letting whatever this is go. Like, you know, you already made the decision. It's already in the process of, you know, the changes are inevitable and the changes are already happening, but it's almost like you're like, wait, wait, you know what, I forget it, you know, like you keep going back and forth. Your indecision is creating a source of frustration for yourself and for whatever other energies are surrounding this particular situation. But inside, you might not be able to see it on the 3D level quite yet, but the reasons that this needed to be the way that it is at this very moment, that is yet to be seen. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason for this needing to unfold the way it did, for whatever reason. And eventually you will see what that reason is. It just might not be as quickly as you expected or as you wanted, but in time things will start to make more and more sense to you, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, oh, okay, now you know what, now I understand, now I get why this had to happen like this, now I know. And that's basically what your angels are trying to send. That's the message your angels are trying to send to you, because they want you to know that everything that's happening to you in your life right now, even though it might seem like there's no way that this is meant to be like this. There's no way. Things are unfolding exactly how they're supposed to be unfolding, and eventually it's going to bring you to a place of ease, and you're going to understand why these situations needed to unfold. It might take a little bit longer than you originally had hoped to get there, but it's all about the journey anyways. It's all about being able to walk in your truth and to allow yourself to receive the wisdom and the guidance that you receive by going through difficult situations like this. This seems to be something that perhaps it was regarding a person or a situation that you needed to let go of, or it was something that was near and dear to you at one point in your past that you needed to rid yourself of, and the pain at one point felt so unbearable to even the thought of losing this thing or this person was so unbearable to you at one point that it's been difficult for you to completely allow yourself to move on. And it's been also very difficult for you to understand why it's not happening the way you originally had expected it to. But I promise you that this is something that was necessary for you to get to the place that you're meant to be. This whole situation was divinely orchestrated in order for you to eventually be in a place of true happiness, as opposed to just getting by or just settling. You will get to a point where you're like, oh my God, thank God I made that decision, because if I didn't, dude, I would never be where I am today. And that's what it really comes down to. Let me get the regular tarot so I can do some clarifying. Spirit, let's clarify this Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, this is something that you were very much emotionally attached to, and it has been a process, a very long, difficult process for you to fully let it go, and for you to fully understand and see that it had to go. It was not a decision that you wanted to necessarily make, and it was not a decision that was necessarily easy, but it was a decision that was meant for your highest good, and deep down you know that, which is why you went through it, even though you didn't want to. Because you had hoped it to become something different, but deep down you knew. And I mean, I get the feeling that, I mean, you worked so hard on holding on to this thing, and you also worked so hard to let it go. I mean, it was just a very difficult decision that you had to make. And now that you've made the decision, you kind of feel like you're almost emotionally or mentally backtracking. Like you know you had to make this decision in order for you to eventually be happy. You know that you needed to do what you needed to do, and yet there's still a part of you that's looking back and still holding on to it because it had such a strong emotional connection with you. Whether it was a person or a situation or a place or whatever, it was, you were emotionally attached to this. But your angels are trying to tell you that this needed to be, basically. It needed to be because you needed to see certain things that you have seen in order for you to be truly happy. You really needed to see certain things for you to be happy. Yeah, and this is definitely telling me that this was a cycle that you have just recently overcome, a cycle of fears that you've dealt with for a very long time, and that decision that you had to make was a decision. Sorry about that. Okay, you're gonna have so much satisfaction and relief knowing that you don't have to deal with the fear, because the fear is really what was keeping you like freaking out that whole time. And it wasn't so much the actual decision making, it was more the fear about what was going to happen once that decision was made, if that makes sense. So it was really just the fear that was making you like question yourself, question the situation, question your worth, or whatever your motives or their motives, or whatever the case was. It made you in a state of doubt, frustration, and pain for an unnecessary amount of time. Let me clarify the 7 of Pentacles first. Yeah, so if you didn't make this decision, I'm gonna tell you this much: you would never be able to find true happiness. There were people that were not necessarily, didn't necessarily have your highest intentions or highest good in mind, and people were acting out of from selfish needs, and which is a big part of the reason why you needed to make this decision. So your angels are just confirming to you that you made the right decision, and that you need to make your peace so that you could finally start moving on and start just being happy, because that was the whole point, was so that you can eventually truly be happy. Yeah. Yes, and this is okay. So there's also another message that your angels are trying to send to you, and that is that this situation also needed to happen, to occur, in order for you to change your perspective, to change the way you looked at a certain situation or a certain person. You needed to see a different side, or understand the side, the alternative side, and understand why, if it's dealing with the person, you needed to see things from their point of view, and they needed to see things from your point of view. And by having made this decision, as hard as it was, as much fear was placed on you because of having to make this decision, it in turn has allowed you both to grow exponentially. This is something that almost like you were like clearing up the last cobwebs in your closet, and now you have a nice clean closet to put a bunch of brand new stuff in. Like, you are literally, if it's dealing with another person, both parties are going to end up being much more fulfilled in the end because of the decision that you made. And if it has nothing to do with whatever the situation was, it taught you a very valuable lesson. And this is a lesson that you will never have to learn again, because once you know something, you know. And you won't have to deal with this stress or the pain or the uncertainty that you have dealt with, because you just dealt with it. You know not to put yourself in these types of situations anymore. So regardless, good things have come from this. And even if it's hard to see that in the moment, just have faith and know that you made the right decision. I'm just going to do a couple of these cards for any final messages, Spirit. Pile number 1. Final messages for pile number 1. Thank you. Shadow self. Stillness and creativity. So this is telling me that this was definitely a very heavy situation for you. This was a situation that brought a lot of pain, a lot of sadness, a lot of sorrow, and it probably brought out a lot of parts of you that you weren't necessarily proud of. But this allowed you to see things from an entirely different viewpoint, and it allowed you to see things for what they were. It allowed you to see things for truth, instead of looking at things through fear, if that makes sense. And you needed to do this for you in order to allow yourself to be able to express yourself in the way that you are truly meant to. This was necessary for you to fully embody your true self and your true nature. And eventually you will see why this needed to be in order for you to succeed. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Alright, this is for those of you who chose pile number 2. Alright. Call upon my spirit guides and pile number 2 spirit guides. Please use me as a channel for the messages pile number 2 needs to hear. Hear my mind's eye through the cards. Please and thank you. Allow me to release whatever energies I pick up during the reading. After the reading is over, please and thank you. Please tell me, Spirit, what does pile number 2, what messages are pile number 2's angels trying to send? What messages are pile number 2's angels trying to send? Okay, let's step in. What messages are pile number 2's angels trying to send to them? Let's try to do it because these are really long cards, so it's hard for me. Can't do that. Chariot, the Hangman, Devil in the reverse, Cup, and the Emperor. Okay. Okay, I feel like you've been in somewhat of a stressful relationship, perhaps somewhat of a toxic situation with a particular energy. I feel like you've been wondering, you've been waiting around for things to change, and you're realizing that they just are not. So you're going to, and I believe your angels are trying to tell you that you're going to have to see this energy for what this energy actually is. I want to clarify a little bit because just clarify. Cherry. There's something that you need to shift your perspective on about a situation or a person. You keep looking at them in one way, but your angels are trying to tell you that there's something that you're missing. There's something that you're missing about a particular energy. You're not looking at them in the way that they truly are. Perhaps you are idealizing them, or you are looking at them as though they are something much better or not good enough. I feel like there's a person or a situation that you are idealizing. I feel like this person or situation is not particularly there for your highest good. I feel like it's an energy that is quite controlling, quite manipulative, and it's an energy that is not looking at you the way you should be looked at, where they're not giving to you as much as you are giving to them. The energies are not balanced. They're not being reciprocated, and I feel like it's been taking you a while to truly accept this, you truly accept this situation for what it is, because of the way you view them. There's something about the way that you keep overlooking things that they've done, or you keep allowing certain things about this person or this situation to like kind of like you just keep sweeping things under the rug. And it's coming to the point where you need to shift your perspective for you. You need to see this situation for what it is and accept the truth of it. Yeah. Okay, so your angels are trying to step in to redirect you on your path. They're trying to get you to see, because it's like you have blinders on. Like you are completely disregarding all the garbage that this energy is causing for you, because you have this idea in your head that, oh wait, but it's like you keep justifying for them. No more justifying, because you deserve much better. You deserve much better. Clear through that. Yeah, you keep holding this person up. You keep idealizing them. You're putting them on a pedestal when really they're treating you like they're being manipulative. They do not have your highest good in mind. This energy is not necessarily, they're not necessarily bad people, but they are very sneaky. They're very sneaky, and they will lie to you in an instant, and they try to make you feel like things are, but it's like you have this like idea about them. Like you just keep holding them like as if they are everything to you, and which is another lie that you keep telling yourself, because you are telling yourself this because you don't want to deal with more hurt or pain. But your angels are trying to open your eyes to this, because before you continue down the same path that you've already been down, you've already learned the lesson that you would learn from this particular situation. So if this is resonating for you, I recommend that you rethink the direction that you've been going in, because your angels are trying to send you the message that you don't have to learn these lessons again. You've already learned them. You already learned this lesson, so you're going to be repeating an old cycle if you continue down this path. And if this is resonating for you, you already know what it's talking about, what it's referring to. So you need to make that decision for you, but obviously it's going to end up very similar to things that have already happened to you in the past. And your angels are trying to prevent you from having to deal with the things that you don't need to deal with anymore. You've already moved beyond this. You've moved past this. You've already completed that cycle. So it's up to you to leave that cycle in the past. Let's clarify that. This energy is very very sneaky, man. I keep getting like this, like very like just someone that has more than one option. Someone that is just keeping you there for just to keep you there just in case they get bored, or just in case whatever the situation is. But they are definitely not there for your highest good, and that is what your angels are trying to relay to you, so that it prevents unnecessary pain and heartache. Let's get some final messages, please. Forgiveness, illumination, dark night of the soul. Okay, so this forgiveness to me is not necessarily referring to this particular person or situation. This forgiveness is referring to self. It's forgiving yourself for having fallen for this particular type of energy, and for falling for the lies, or falling for the things that have been said to you, and just understanding that you are not like them. You can't understand why anybody would do these things to other people, because you're not like that. And that's why you don't need to deal with it anymore. You deserve so much more. And yes, this might be painful for you right now, but I assure you that it's going to be much more painful if you stick around. It's going to be much more painful for you if you have to deal with these lessons that you've already dealt with. You've already experienced personalities or energies like this in the past. You've already dealt with the repercussions of these types of energies in the past, and you already know that what you're doing is not that smart. Okay, this is for those of you who chose pile number 3, the Salvador Dali. Spirit guides, pile number 3, spirit guides, to stepping into this reading to channel messages to me through my mind's eye, through the cards, please and thank you. Allow me to release whatever energies I pick up during the reading after the reading is over, please and thank you. I asked round number 3, Spirit Guides, please tell me what messages their angels are trying to send. What messages are pile number 3 angels trying to send? King of Coins, Page of Coins, Queen of Swords, Page of Cups in reverse, and Page of Swords. Okay. So what I'm getting here is that there's something that you are kind of trying to distract yourself from. There is a truth that has cut you somewhat deep, and you're kind of been distracting yourself with work or with your financial obligations or whatever the case, to kind of like keep your mind busy so as to not so you don't have to focus on this thing that you don't want to focus on. I feel there's an energy that has said certain things to you that has been making you think a lot, and it's making you feel uncertain of the direction you're going in, and it's making you question your worth or your values. But I think this is more something, an issue that you tend to have with everyone. Like you question yourself, so you feel as though everyone around you questions you too. But really, it's not them that questions you, it's just you questioning yourself, which makes it seem like others around you question you too. Does that make sense? Let me get the regular tarot. So basically, I feel like your angels are trying to point out a flaw in your thought process, so that you are aware of what you do, so that you can perhaps change it or redirect your thought process on certain situations in your life. I'm going to clarify the King of Coins. King of Coins, please. Okay, yeah. So I believe there's an energy that came to you with an offer of emotional, something of emotional, like an emotional offer. Like perhaps somebody tried to come to you with an offer of love, or some sort of offer that you kind of like put on the wayside, because you, even if it was meant for you, you felt like you weren't worthy of it for whatever reason. So you're looking at this situation, you need to look at it differently, because this energy is offering you their offer can be of superb benefit. It could benefit you greatly, but you feel that you're not worthy of it, so you tell yourself that it's not worthy for you, so that you don't have to face the truth. that it's really you that feels that way about yourself. So okay, so basically what you tend to do is you'll push people away that are trying to come towards you because you feel like you're not worthy of real love or real affection or of real happiness, of true happiness. So it's like a self-sabotaging thing that you do. You tend to push people away that are coming to you with a with true, like, with good intention, so that you don't end up hurting them, even though that's not the case at all. It's just how you perceive the things that you do towards other people. Like, you're really hard on yourself when it comes to people you care about. And that is really what I'm seeing. Let me clarify that. Yeah, but this is a fear. Okay, the King of Wands card to me is always represents the reptilian part of our thought process, which is the thought process that kicks into gear when you feel fear. When fear comes into your energetic frequency, you will think of the worst possible outcome, and you see that worst possible outcome as the truth, that is what is going to happen if I do A, B, and C. This is definitely like, for example, let me give an example so you can compare. Let's say, for example, you went to work one day, you were late on something that was due that day. So you know that this thing that you're late on is going to perhaps affect your ability to perform at the level that you put so much pressure on yourself. But being late on one project, you automatically assume, oh my God, you know what, I'm gonna get fired, and because I get fired, I'm not gonna be able to pay my bills, and because I can't pay my bills, I'm gonna lose my house, I'm gonna be homeless, and I'm gonna do, and you just go off on a tangent as though that thing has already happened. But the way you're thinking is, you're thinking about things that haven't happened yet, and you're thinking about things in a way that is not beneficial to you, because really it's just self-sabotage. Your fears are basically causing your fears to be your truth, instead of you just facing your fears and hoping for a better a different outcome. Yeah, it might not work out in the way that you expected it to, but by facing your fears, you know for a fact that it won't get to the point where it actually comes true, if that makes sense. So let me clarify the Page of Coins, please. Let me clarify. One second, save. Okay. Yeah, when it comes to relationships, especially, more so like in the romantic department, you self-sabotage to the utmost extreme. You do not feel as though you're worthy of being happy with somebody, but this is a core belief that you need to redirect or look at in order to understand that it's not your truth. It's not true. You are worthy of it. It's just you don't feel as though you're worthy of it. So you need to focus on what it is that makes you not feel worthy. And I already see that it's because you've been hurt so many times in the past, and I feel like the fear of rejection is a big part of it. Perhaps there's I'm getting some like older male energies, or masculine energies, perhaps like a father type figure that used to be really hard on you, and it was because he was not emotionally fulfilled in himself. So he would be very hard on you, and this affected the way you perceived yourself. So you need to focus on that core, that part in your, that time in your life where you felt like you weren't worthy in the eyes of an older masculine energy. And I can almost guarantee that that is where the core belief began, and that is what you need to work on in order to change that belief, because the belief that you have created for yourself is just hurting you, and unnecessarily hurting you, because you are very much worthy of true happiness. Let me clarify the paper. Yeah. Okay. I recommend taking this as a challenge, because you seem like the type of person that will only listen to advice if it's presented to you as like a challenge, like oh, I bet you won't face your fears about X, Y, and Z. But if it's presented to you in that way, it's almost like, all right, I'll hold you to it, and you will follow through because of the way it's being presented to you. Does that make sense? That's funny. All right, let me just get some final messages from Spirit. Final messages. Intuition, clarity, and joy. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, you're coming to a lot of realizations in your recent past that are bringing you a great sense of clarity, a great sense of freedom from past like negative ways of thinking and negative things that were holding you back in fully finding true joy in your life. And it's unnecessary to allow that to unfold. You don't need to hold yourself back anymore, because you are fully capable. You are fully capable, and you deserve to find your happiness. So I hope you guys resonated with that. If you did, please leave a comment down below, and I hope to see you guys next week. Bye.